Hey guys, and welcome to our Team Fit Force training call. It is Wednesday, the 20th of January, 2016, and today we are going to be chatting with Elyse Hubbard about recruiting. Elyse is a military wife. She's currently stationed in Hawaii, so it's super early for her there right now. I think you said it's 7 a.m., right? So really early. She got up very early to talk to us about this, and she is a two-time elite coach. She was a Summit success story and presenter, and she is a mom of two, and she has her third little one due any day now. She's founder of Team Jerf, and she is just amazing and has a lot of really great strengths in areas of recruiting and team building and challenge pack sales and challenge groups, just all of that stuff. She's really great at it. And I've asked her to come and share with us today. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn it right on over to her because I know she's got a great presentation put together and I'm excited to hear from her. So anything else you want to add to that, Elyse, go right ahead.
No, just, kids should be leaving with my husband to school in 20 minutes. So if you hear any screaming, I think we've all been there. But yeah, that's pretty much me. I know Lauren because I'm from Austin originally, and I met her at a Super Saturday, and I was like, I want to do this with you guys, but only if you let me talk. So I was just like a very eager coach to I just want to learn and grow and get myself out there. But Lauren's amazing right back, and I'm kind of, I'm just really, really grateful that I got teamed up with her the way I did. Okay, so recruiting. That is just such a huge subject, right? So what I want to go over is, I think in 2015, Doug Moss, he's, one of my mentors, and he came over to Hawaii to do a call for us. And anyways, he showed us this slideshow, and he said that it says not until you're a 15-star should you be at 50% recruiting, 50% focusing on your team, right? So I think what happens to a lot of coaches is, they get that one coach who they think is going to rock this, and they focus on them, and they forget to be a coach themselves, right? So, you should always be focusing on recruiting, period. And that's why I like to keep high success club numbers, just because I want to keep, I'm the kind of coach that I want to hit Success Club 10 and not miss it, so my funnel stays full, and I don't have to be upset if a coach drops out, or upset if I lose a challenge pack sale and I lose 4 points, whatever. I just want as many points as I can, period. And so that way I can show my team, right? So this is kind of faux pas for some coaches, and I'm learning from Lauren more about income growth and stuff, but I've always just signed everybody up as a coach. And then from there, based on what they're doing, then we talk about, what it means to move forward from there. So, I can say that I've never missed Success Club 10, right? I've been a coach for 2.5 years, and I've never missed 10. And that's really how I built my business, and I built my business on Instagram, right? So what Lauren wants me to show you guys is basically how I do that, how I recruit, how, I talk to people, and this is something that I drill into my team a lot. So a little bit backstory about me is when I first started, I didn't use my friends and my family. I already was established on Instagram for about 8 months, and I had people I was hitting Success Club 40, I was hitting Success Club 50, and it wasn't difficult. But as you go on, you forget, that people don't fall into your lap. You have to work. You have to reach out to them. So I kind of had to backtrack with myself and with my team and put myself in a brand new coach's shoes who maybe has never had Instagram, doesn't, she's already gone through all of her warm market, and she needs to build her cold market, right? So that's why I like Instagram, and it works for me. But so I just want to go ahead and show you guys some of those scripts and then a little rundown of what I do. I know Lauren built on Facebook, that's her strength, and that's why we complement each other. Is there anybody who builds on Instagram? No? Okay. So, like I said, the reason that I do that is because I find a lot of my coaches, you run out of your friends and your family, and you're talking to the same people. So, this is not going to be a call about Instagram, but if you have not set up your Instagram, you can just Google Elyse Hubbard Instagram training, and my training comes up. This month I'm going to redo it. And so there'll be another one on my YouTube channel because some things have changed, right? So like I said, I'm not gonna cover Instagram. I'm just gonna cover how to talk to people, but you can apply how I talk to people to Facebook, right? So first and foremost, you should be making your hard posts. I think that's kind of obvious, and you should just be posting, period, right? I post 4 times a day, and that's part of my team's accountability log. So I am going to go ahead and, I don't know why, but the program that I use to share my phone, like, always cuts out on me if I don't use it right away. So let me reconnect to that so I can show you guys, share my screen of my phone. Hang on just one second. So is it safe to say, Lauren, that like everybody on the call on your team is they're Facebook builders, right?
Yeah, for the most part, I think we all build through Facebook, but I think also people have Instagram accounts. It's just that we're not familiar with really how to build there. So we haven't been spending a ton of time learning about it, but I know that it's something that we've been working on and talking about a lot lately, just because with all the new rules and restrictions with Facebook and, paying with pages and all of that, people are looking for other options.
Yeah, so that's good. That's good for me to know. Okay, so, this is a graphic from Melanie Mitchell, but I just want you guys to keep in mind as we go along that as you're recruiting, you're going to come across different coaches, right? And the coaches,
we can't see that. I don't know if anybody else can, but I can't. It's right now it says pick your path Windows viewer, but that's all I see.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, can you, that's weird. Okay, well, anyway, so Melanie Mitchell made a graphic, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have this graphic. If not, I can go ahead and send it to Lauren. But, there's 3 types of coaches. There's hobby coach, there's, discount coach, hobby coach, and business builder, right? So hobby coaches are, definitely going to come from just somebody who wants the discount, right? So if you're not already recruiting from keeping a steady list of who has challenge packs and when their next one's going to come out, to ask them if they want to be a preferred customer, that's a word that I like to use instead of hobby coach or discount coach, preferred customer. You definitely should have a list, right? You can go into your back office and you can check that out. You can go into your success points and see where your points came from and see if anybody has an order coming out. And that's how you can, build somebody like your husband, right? That's how you can recruit right away for that to get him to diamond. Or if you need an emerald, really quickly, you can go ahead and, ask somebody if they would like to be a preferred customer, save money on their Shakeology, right? And then go ahead and start building. I just like to call them placeholder coaches because I know that they're not going anywhere, but I just need them to hold a place until I get a builder there or I'm ready to move forward with my husband's business, So let me try this again to share my screen. Let's see what happens. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the graphic that Melanie Mitchell made. And so I just use this when I talk about what a preferred customer is with my challenge members. Instead of trying to have to explain everything. And what I just use that word preferred customer. And usually they're like, yes, of course, why would I not want to save money? So that's, I'm sure everybody knows about that one, but I just want to move on to Instagram and show you guys how I work my business there. So hopefully you guys can see this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like I said, when I started my business, it was through Instagram. I didn't use any of my friends and family. I started my Instagram because I was always the obese girl, right? I've lost 100 pounds, and I didn't want to be that. I just didn't want my family to ask me questions. It was my way of hiding. So I've just always used Instagram to build my business. And let me tell you this, like the reason that I like Instagram so much is because these are all strangers. And if somebody tells me no, who cares? So if your biggest fear is talking to people, like Instagram is your bread and butter, because you can talk to new people all the time. And if they say no, like who cares? If you're really that scared, after they say no, go block them from following you. Like it's not the same as Facebook, right? So that's just, I really love it for those reasons. But I show my team how to talk to 5 new people a day, no matter what. So I had to retrain myself to think like a baby coach and figure out how am I going to talk to 5 new people a day. So this is direct messaging, right? I'm going to show you guys real quick. If you go to your home screen, right, you should see everybody's feeds as you scroll, right? And you see in the top right corner, there's the direct message box, right? You click on there and you can send people messages. You no longer have to send them a picture with your message. You can just go ahead and message them, right? So I can go into this one because this girl's from England, right? So what I do every single day is I make sure that I put myself in my new coach's shoes, and I do the same parts of my accountability tracker just like I do them, right? So here is a basic question. And like I said, I have my scripts that I go ahead and I ask one of, somebody who's following me. And I just want to make a point that, if you're trying to reach out to new people a day, 5 new people a day, a new contact is somebody who you've asked a new question, right? So if you're just going to them and saying like, hey, I like your account, that doesn't count as a new contact because you didn't ask them a question and they have no reason to reply, which gives you no introduction into building your relationship, right? So you always have to make sure that, a new contact is somebody that you're asking a question for the very first time. If that's not happening, you cannot count them, right? So if you talk to 5 new people a day, that means that in 30 days you're talking to 150 people, right? So what I drill into my team is if you do a little every day and you talk to 150 people, you only need 5 people to say yes to hit Success Club 10. You only need 3 people to say yes to hit Success Club 6. And that's why I've never missed, because I just always keep my funnel full by doing this. And this is the hardest thing for me to do. I don't know why, but it's because I think I need concentrated time, and it takes me 5 minutes a person. We've timed it before, and I've done live Zooms, and it takes 5 minutes a person to talk to get through your list, and so about 25 minutes of your day. So for me, it's really hard to zone out all of those dings and alerts, and I think that's why it's the hardest part of my business for me to complete. So this is a sample. It just says, hey girl, I just wanted to stop by and say thank you so much for the support on my account and journey. I saw you like my prego transformation pic with my big old belly. Are you also on a journey of your own? P.S. Your son is so dang cute. So she ended up being from England. So she's obviously not a good lead for me. But what I did was I went into my likes for a transformation picture. And I just asked, I used a script, which I'm going to share with you guys. And I just asked her a question, right? And then what I did was I also went into her account. This is her account. And I looked at some pictures, so I didn't skip that step of building that relationship, and I got to know her a little bit better. It takes like 1 minute, right? This way I can make sure that the account is not an it wraps person, it's not a fellow coach. and I can put a little bit of extra, personality into what I'm sending her so she knows that I'm genuine. And then there's the second step is right here. You can see that I said, hey, you, just sent you a direct message here on Instagram. I hope to hear from you soon, and I hope you're having a great day. The reason that I do this step is because I want to make sure that people know that I just sent them a message. On Instagram, direct messaging is new for a lot of people. They don't even know it exists. So I make sure I take that second step of just leaving that on one of their pictures, right? So let's see. Let me pull up my scripts. So if you're taking notes and you feel like I'm going too fast, I'm about to go ahead and help you right here. And in the chat box, I'm going to send you my scripts. All right. So everybody should be able to click on that, and you should be able to see my scripts. Everybody got it? Yes. I can only see like 2 people, but my coaches are, they get this already. We do this every day. Like I drill this into them hard. And so what happens is my coaches who just joined me, they hit Success Club, right? Because they're going through their warm market on their Facebook, their friends, their family. And I tell them, please stay consistent with Instagram. And then 3 months later, they're like, okay, all my friends and family are gone, but guess what? All my points are starting to come from Instagram, right? So this is not something that's going to happen tomorrow because you may not have an established account. But if you stick with it, in about 3 months' time, you'll start to see it pan out for you. Because you need people to start to trust you, right? Just like on your Facebook. The more they're following you, the more they trust you, right? But I guarantee you, if you start reaching out to people, you'll get there, right? So, oh, sorry, I need to share my screen again. So we can go over these scripts real quick. Okay, let's see. So how to initiate conversation with someone you have never spoken with on Instagram, right? So you can go through your likes, your comments, or by clicking on your followers to see who's following you, right? Then remember that a new contact is someone that you've never talked to before and you're asking them a question. Your goal is to talk to 5 new people a day. And I'm telling you guys, it seriously takes 25 minutes. And the reason it takes 25 minutes is because what you're going to do is you're going to take these scripts and you're going to put them in your phone's notepad, and you're going to all you're going to do is copy and paste them and change them up a little bit based on the person and the conversation you're having, right? So you're not going to use saying, hey, I saw you like my picture with my pregnant belly, because that's not you, that's me. So you're going to tweak that part, and you're going to be able to copy and paste and just use 1 picture a day to go into your likes or go into your followers, right? So I have a script for every different situation. This is really, the very, very basic, and this is how the most people talk to me is this one right here. Hey girl, I just wanted to stop by and say thank you so much for the support on my accountant journey. I saw you like my workout video. Are you also on a journey of your own? Right? So I put a little bit of my personality in there because in that video that day, I was talking about how I'm trying to potty train my toddler. And, read it out loud, make sure it sounds like you. But I sent that same message to, to 5 people, right? And then you can change it up, right? If you're doing a hard post, here's one right here. Hey girl, I just wanted to say, stop by and say thank you so much for the support on my accountant journey. I saw you like my post about how I'm looking for 10 people to not put themselves last and join me for 2016. Is that something that might interest you? Either way, let me know, no pressure, and thank you again for the support period, right? So I decided to put myself in my new coach's shoes. and think about, well, what if nobody comments? What if nobody sends me an email? What if nobody, says anything about my post? You have to ask them, and you have to invite them for more information, right? So don't get discouraged, and remember that it doesn't, usually they're going to say three things are going to happen. They're going to say yes, they're going to say no, or they're not going to respond, right? So you just need to take your chances and just send these messages. So my scripts have a basic formula to them. The beginning, I'm always saying thank you. The middle, I'm telling them, I saw you liked whatever. And then the end, I'm asking them if it sounds like something that might be for them, or I'm asking them a question, and I'm giving them an out, right? Either way, let me know, right? I spelled no wrong, but either way, let me know. There's no pressure, right? So as you go, you'll see that there is like a formula to all of this, and you'll get better and better, and you'll be able to copy and paste, right? And so remember, the second part of all of that is going back and copy and pasting that you sent them a direct message. And I have that in my scripts also, right? But, Laura's on the call. I can see her, but, she's somebody who just started doing this. She's one of my coaches, and she does her accountability log every day, and she talks to 5 new people because she's growing her Instagram, right? So, for me, when I'm thinking about recruiting, I'm trying to think about, what do I need in my business, right? If I know that, okay, Lauren really showed me this week that I'm not focusing enough on builder coaches, right? So because I'm already at Success Club for the month, I'm going to make sure that I will go ahead and seek out builder coaches, right? So for me, what I like to think about is, what do I want in a coach, and what kind of post should I be posting? So for me, I really want a faith-driven team. So I purposely post more about my faith, and I make quotes about, God and stuff like that. And I want to go into those pictures and look for my working coaches, right? Who do I think would be a good coach? Sometimes people have never thought about it, but they're following me, and I just need to ask them. So I'll use one of my scripts. First I'll get to know them, and then we'll talk about it, and I'll say, hey, I have a sneak peek, or hey, I have a webinar, or hey, have you ever thought about this, as we go, right? And I have a part 2. Let me pull that up, and I'm going to send it to you guys. Because what the next question, right, from everybody is going to be, okay, well, what do you say next, right? If you haven't got to know somebody, right? If you don't know, what their struggles are with their eating habits, or with their fitness, or just a little bit about them, you shouldn't be inviting them to anything yet, right? But you need to eventually get to the connection where you're saying, well, actually, I'm an online coach. Would you like to hear more about what it is I do, right? So part 2 of my scripts is what I just sent you guys. And I've already sent Lauren all of this, like, formatted out, that I do for my team. But part 2 is what I copy and paste in my phone's notepad, and I just send that over to people, so I'm not wasting my time typing over and over again, right? So you need to get to that part of, you're telling them what it is you do as a coach, or what you do as a mentor, and you're sending that over, right? So my goal to make sure that I stay on top of recruiting is I'm getting all the way to the part where either they're going to tell me yes or no, right? I'm telling them the price. I'm telling them what I do as a coach. They're going to tell me yes or no. I try to do that for at least 2 people a day, right? Because I reach out to 5 and I have conversations going all the time, I'm able to pretty much, complete that goal. And I know my coaches are getting stronger at that too, right? So I'm very fast paced. Like, I want to get through the conversation. I don't want to take all day. I want to hear a yes or a no. And if they tell me no, I put them in a free group, or I funnel them somewhere else, right? So, just to backtrack, if you don't have an execution calendar where you're executing, free groups and your challenge group and sneak peeks every month, that's something that is probably holding you back, because where are you going to put these people if they tell you no, or if they tell you not right now, right? Okay, so I think I saw in the chat you guys talking about Crowdfire, and that is definitely something that I wanted to go over, because how many of you are asking yourself now, well, how the heck do I build my Instagram, right? That's in my Instagram training, but I'm going to go ahead and just show you guys how I show my team to keep building their Instagram. I have to reconnect. I don't know why my screen share on my laptop always goes down for my phone, but I have to reconnect it. But Laura, can you just tell everybody how much your Instagram has been growing since you started using Crowdfire?
Yeah, so I've been using Crowdfire for, I guess, a couple weeks now, maybe, because I finally got the grasp of it. And I went from 150 followers, and I think I'm getting closer to 400 now. And when I stay consistent with using it every day, that's when it really grows. When I don't, then it doesn't grow, but it just grows slower. But when I actually use it, it grows really fast. So it's a really good app.
Okay, thank you for that.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so this is the app called Crowdfire. A lot of coaches use Instagram. I don't like it because if you're not really seasoned, it's not a good app for you. One, it costs money, and then two, a lot of coaches don't use it correctly. And then I'm sure you've seen comments on your stuff that says stuff like cool picture and it's a video, right? Or oh, he's so cute, because you use the mommy hashtag, but it's just you drinking your shake or whatever. So I kind of try to stay away from Instagram. I know if you use it correctly, it can do good for you, but just because I try to keep my mind set on a baby coach, this is why I like to use Crowdfire. So this is the only thing in my Instagram training that is really not in there, and it's changed just because they changed the name of this app. So like I said, it's called Crowdfire. And I'm having a delay on my phone. Okay, here we go. All right, so if you see in the top left right here, I'm trying to circle it with my little mouse key, but if you see in the top left, if you click on those three little lines, it'll give you some options. Oh, there it goes. So the only thing that we're going to use on Crowdfire is called copy followers, right? So when you're thinking about people that you want in your business, this is a really good way to grow your Instagram and grow it very, very quickly. I only do it once a day now, but if you are just trying to build your Instagram, you can use it every 2 hours if you have the time, right? So what you want to do is you want to think about your avatar. If you've never done an avatar, I really highly recommend you do it. An avatar will help you to think about what kind of person you want to attract into your business. Who are you trying to help today, right? So, earlier, remember I said I want a faith-driven team. So I've been typing in a lot of things like faith and women, and just seeing what accounts come up. So here's one right here. It says women sewing by faith. It's a little thing that a lot of people don't know about me, but I like to make quilts. So this would probably be a good account for me to see, what kind of followers does this account have? So what I do is I clicked on their account, which is on the left, and it shows me a little bit of their Instagram, and I can see they have 172 followers. I can see that, it's not an account that's in Australia or anything. So it might be, people in here might relate to me. So I might, I would want to copy their followers. So on the right-hand side, you click the blue button and it'll say retrieving followers. And all I do as fast as I can, is just click the plus sign. right? I'm not doing anything fancy. You just get really fast at it, and I just click plus, 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 plus until the app tells me, you can't follow any more people. So, just so you guys see, I'm doing it really fast, and I don't care who I'm following, right? The reason that you do this is because every time you click to follow somebody, it's like passing out your business card. And if they like your account, of course, they're going to follow you, right? So, don't worry about if people follow you back. Don't use this app for that. If you're posting 4 times a day, right? If you're doing your new contacts, you will eventually talk to these people. So you got to give them time to just look at your account and see and just build that trust, right? So I get, a lot of people who go into this recent unfollowers, and they get all bummed out, and they're like, oh no, like, look at all these people, like, who cares, right? If they're not following you, then you don't want them in your business because you just don't relate to them. So that app has really helped me to show my coaches how to build their business faster. And I mean, I have coaches who one day they'll say, like, I had 100 followers, and then the next they're like, I've been using Crowdfire like crazy, and I have over 1,000. And, and it's good because these people they're looking at your account, they're liking, your stuff, and when you do make a post, they're going to be like, okay, I've been following her for a month. Let me see what this is about, right? So that's really, how I use Instagram and how I use the bulk of my time when I know that I need to work on recruiting, right? So, again, when we're talking about recruiting, I'm not just talking about coaches, but you should have a goal for how many coaches you want to recruit. And like I said, Lauren helped me this week to realize that I'm not focusing on that as much, and I just focus on, like, whoever wants to join. So if your focus is that, you want more builder coaches, then you should be making hard posts about, that, so you can go into your likes and ask somebody, I saw you like my post about this. Is it something that interests you? I would say like 7 times out of 10, somebody tells me yes. And for whatever reason, they just didn't tell me, like, they didn't leave their email. They didn't send me an email. They didn't, you know what I mean? Like, people just don't fall into your lap. And I've seen this a lot in Star Diamonds and, just big builder coaches, that they forget that, it comes, you have to be willing to go back and do the work, because you're just going to have those months where people don't fall into your lap, and you have to be proactive and ask them. Like, inviting is our job, right? And this is the way that your team will see what they need to do. So, like, I put myself on my Success Club board because I need my team to see that what I'm doing is actually working, and I'm not just blowing smoke up there, what, right? But I think I went through that fast. So let me see. I see a question. I'm going to answer it real quick. I'll have to talk to you. Maybe I think this is one of your coaches, Lauren, right? As a military spouse, I've kept my IG account private until recently. I just started to make it all public. It still kind of scares me and makes me a little nervous. Have you ever had any problems with following people or followers you attract? I know I've gotten some sketch hits on Facebook. Okay, so I have teachers who have a similar issue and other military. If the military had told your spouse that you cannot have a Facebook like that, then it's different, But I don't have that issue. My husband's not in a secret spy like type of branch of the military. But what I tell my coaches is, if somebody leaves you a stupid comment, just delete them and block them, right? I don't waste my time on that. I don't have time to argue with people. If somebody if I show my loose skin, you know, I've lost 100 pounds. So I'm the girl who's like, look, I have loose skin. Who cares? If I have somebody who tells me to use it wraps, I just delete them. You know, like, who cares? Something that my coaches always hear me tell them is, like, nobody sleeps with your problems. Nobody pays your bills. So, you know, what you post is your business, and just who cares? Like, keep going, right? But just block them. Like, if a guy is following you and he leaves something gross, just block them. It's not worth your time. Like, don't get hung up on it. You know, your mission is to help people, period. So just keep going. But you know, you can really use any of my scripts and just remember what your goals are and what your focus is and nail it. So, you know, like I keep saying, as far as, you know, I'm concerned right now, I've recruited, you know, I'm at Success Club 14 for the month, right? And 3 of those that I've recruited are working coaches. So for the rest of the month, you know, I'm going to try to focus more on my goal of, I want 5 working coaches. So I'm going to try to make sure that when I am talking to these people, I try to send, you know, my webinar to as many people as I can, or get them into a sneak peek, or whatever your system is, right? So I'm going to make sure that my questions are geared that way, that I'm looking for those people. If you know that you need more challenge members because you're a brand new coach, right, then your questions that you should be asking are you on a journey of your own, right? Like, you should be geared that way. So definitely I would just think about what your goals are, and then that way you can focus on what kind of pictures you're posting to make sure that you're evening it all out with your business. But is there anything that you feel like I didn't cover, Lauren, that you would want me to cover?
No, I think that was awesome. I mean, I know my girls that are on the call, does that help you guys a little bit to kind of see what somebody else is doing? And I think the biggest thing for us, I mean, sharing your scripts is amazing. So thank you so much. You know, I think it's easy for them to see what I do, and, you know, for me to share that, but seeing different options and also visually seeing that is such a great thing. And this can be applied, I think, not just to Instagram. I mean, the Crowdfire thing, obviously people can't do that on Instagram, but you know, the way in which you work the conversations and you work the scripts, and you've shared kind of your golden rules as to what you should and shouldn't do. I think that's really helpful. So thank you for doing that. If you guys have any questions, now's the time to speak up and ask. And Elyse is awesome. She'll share whatever, you know, will help. So ask away.
Just go ahead, and I mean, you guys can unmute yourself and just go ahead and ask.
Hey, so I started with Instagram, and I've kind of since pulled back from it, because I kind of just put whatever on Instagram is the same as Facebook, because I wasn't getting a lot of traction through Instagram itself, but I also wasn't being as intentional with messaging through it. With the Crowdfire, have you found that using the followers option has really helped with, like, your target market? Because
yeah,
go ahead.
So I mean, you have to think about it first, right? So if every I would say like every 6 months you should be reevaluating your avatar. Like, have you guys done an avatar exercise? Okay, so you should be reevaluating her. I'm pregnant now, right? So my avatar has changed, right? Like a year ago, I gave my life to God, so my avatar has changed, right? So I would just think about, well, who is my target market this month or this week or this quarter or whatever, and then just, you know, write down maybe 5 pillars, right? 5 pillars of your avatar, right? And that'll help you with posting, right? So if you know you're a foodie, if you want to talk about faith, you're going to post about your fitness, you're going to post about your kids, and then some type of hobby, right? So those are your pillars. So I like to make sure that my posts, you know, they're consistent and they have a flow, but I'm not just like posting whatever, right? Like, if it's going to really throw my followers off if all of a sudden I'm like, oh, look, this is a cute cat. Like, what? No. So, I mean, I just, your mind will start to shift in the terms of a marketer and you'll start to intentionally make posts like that. So I make sure, my faith has been like the number one scary thing for me to post about and shift, because I was afraid of like people judging me. But then I realized that if I don't post those kind of things, then I won't get those types of people in my business that I want, right? So the more I've actually been posting more about my faith, and I have coaches who stick around longer because they have something to hold on to, right? I don't care what their faith is. I just know that they'll stick to this longer because they believe in something more, So it's been working for me, so just think about who you're trying to attract and what kind of people. It's as you go, you'll change, right? You'll start to attract who you are, and then as you go, you'll attract who you want more, right? The stronger you get with your identity.
Yeah, and I think that's like my whole goal right now. I kind of figure like I have all my other systems in place. Now I need to figure out like a system of the branding aspect of it. And I was trying to figure out, I feel like I could utilize Instagram a little bit more because I do have a presence. It's not grand or anything. It's a little over 1,000, but and I have a ton of posts from forever. So I didn't know if I'm kind of weighing it as an option.
I mean, and something else about Instagram is the cap is 7,500 followers, which means one person can only follow 7,500, right? So if you think about this, right, you want to be posting, sometimes you get afraid to overpost on Facebook, right? I know a lot of coaches do, but Instagram works different. Nope, your posts don't get boosted. And somebody can follow 7,500 people. So if you think about it, if I were to get on my phone right now and all of you guys were posting and you're on my feed, you have 1 in 7,500 chance of me seeing your post.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So that is why you want to stay consistent and be okay with posting. If you want to post every 2 hours, that's okay. Like, but if you can go to my Instagram and you can see that I mini blog, right? I don't just say #clean eating. Like my posts have something of value behind them, whether it's inspiration, whether it's a recipe, whether I'm telling them about my life, whether it's a hard post. Like, and even if you do grow on Facebook, you should have posts of intention. It shouldn't just be like pictures of your cat with a quote or like your shoes all the time. Like it should, Lauren knows how to mini blog obviously herself because she has an awesome Facebook like page. So just be intentional with your posts, but just know on Instagram, it's okay to post more often. And so don't be afraid of that. Like you can post about your challenge group, in the same day. And, if you're geared for a stay-at-home mom, she might see it when she drops off her kids, because she's in Cali time. But then if you post later, somebody on the East Coast is putting their kids to bed and they see it at that time later. And then you can go back and delete it or whatever. So don't be afraid to like post twice if you need to. It's just Instagram just works a little different than Facebook.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Elyse. This is Raven. I know I'm showing under Kelsey Miller's account. That's my coach. I must have somehow been signed in under her. But I wanted to talk to you. I just recently found out last week that I was laid off from my job. And now I have a lot more hours in the day to dedicate to growing the business. And I just wanted to know, what kind of steps should I take going from a hobby coach to a full-time coach that really wants to grow this? Instead of 5 people, should I be contacting 10 people a day? Is there any kind of difference? What I should be doing?
So your only job is recruiting, right? Are you a coach? Like, are you Emerald or?
I'm Emerald. Yep. I currently have 5 coaches. I'm really working hard for Diamond.
So even as an Emerald, like your number one job is recruiting,
Right.
So, and that's the only way your team is going to learn. So, that's where you should be focused on. And if you have more time, reach out to more people. But what happens a lot is coaches start to get caught up in doing their 5 new contacts, and they forget that the fortune is in the follow-up. It takes about 7+ times of back and forth before somebody's like, okay, I'll sign up, right? Whatever. So I would definitely I tell my coaches talking to 5 new people is non-negotiable. So I make it non-negotiable for myself. So whatever you tell your team, you should be doing it too, right? And I mean, we had no money. I don't know if you guys know my story. I just posted about it last night, but I had to make that call to my dad and tell him, I have no money, but I want to do this. And if I don't make my money back in 30 days, then I'll just quit and I'll do something else. So we had no money. We had to be in food bank lines. We were on WIC. Even with my husband had a job, so if you don't have a job, like that should be even more motivation for you to just, okay, I'm going to try to talk to as many people as I can. And I'm going to kick ass with whatever program I'm doing. And I'm going to show them my results. You know what I mean? Like that's your whole job should be recruiting, So if anything, I show my team by showing them screenshots or I'll show them, okay, I woke up at 4:30 this morning and I did all of this stuff already, and I'll just post it in my team page to show that I'm leading through example. And then in my team page, we have an accountability thread, and we post, our work for the day. And we kind of, like how Lauren was talking about at the beginning, how everybody is at they should be completing different tasks each day. So my team has the same script, the same log. And each day I just post that for my team. And then in the comments below, we all post what we did, and how we did. And so I post mine so they see my work, right? But I mean, everybody should be recruiting all the time. I'm a 6-star and that's my job all the time. You should never be 50-50 unless you're at 15-star.
Right. Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anybody have any questions? No? Okay, well, I hope that helps you guys. Just really try to put yourself in a baby coach's shoes and, make reaching out to 5 new people non-negotiable. It happened to me. It really did. I'm telling you, I was hitting Success Club 40 and 50 when I first joined. And then after that, I was like, what's happening? And what happened was, I want to say my cold market, which was my loyal Instagram followers, I had run through them. And so I had to reteach myself how to actually talk, how to make an invite, how to talk to people. People don't fall into your lap. They're really, really scared to talk to you sometimes. And what happens to me most of the time is they're like, I can't believe you messaged me. I've been following you for a year. And I'm like, why have you never commented? So just know, just because we're elite coaches or 6-star or whatever, it doesn't mean anything. We're putting the same work behind it. I have no idea how, Melanie Mitchell pulls as many Success Club points as she does. But I know how I pull my Success Club points, and this is how. So, I'll just let Lauren take it over if nobody else has any questions. But thank you for letting me talk to you guys. It really lights a fire under me.
Thank you, Elyse. I so appreciate it. That was awesome. I know I was taking a ton of notes. Hopefully, everybody on the call was. I know Elyse said her team's heard it a million times because she drives it into them a lot. But, I know that Instagram's not my strong suit, and I know it is hers. And a lot of you guys have been talking about it lately. But I really, truly believe that you can apply this to a lot of things, not just Instagram. I think that you can do it to people on your Facebook page. If you see that people are liking on your pictures, maybe they've never commented and they just click like, you can message those people and using the exact same formula and information that she just gave you. If you use Pinterest and people are pinning your posts and liking your posts and sharing your things, message those people using the information that Elyse just gave us. So, there's so many different social media bubbles and vehicles out there. And I think all the principles apply, everything except for Crowdfire, obviously. But, I think it's really great information and something new that we can all take away and apply today. If you haven't done your invites for the week, then do 15 people. It will take you a little bit longer, but do 15 people today so you can check off those boxes and you can get them done. Yeah, I think it was great, Elyse. So thank you so much for sharing.
I just wanted to add one more thing. because I built my business on Instagram, about a year ago, I shut down my personal page because I wanted to show my coaches that I can do it backwards. And I've been building my like page. And I do the same thing on my like page. I just don't do it as often because Instagram is my bread and butter. But if I do see somebody comment or like that I've never seen, I'll use the exact same process, just like Lauren said. But as I'm, she rocks at doing ads and all that kind of stuff, which I have no idea how to do. So just, if that's rocking for you, don't change it. Maybe just do a little bit of what you can do on Instagram, but stay with your strength, so.
Yeah, I think that's really important. So thank you for bringing that up. I mean, because I know I was just talking to one of our coaches that's on this call today about, Instagram's not her thing. She's tried it. It's not her thing. So, we see these big, shiny, sparkly ideas and it's working for someone. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, great, I have to go do that now because it's working for that person. And that means it's going to work for me if I do what they said. But that's not always the case. You can take the things that you learned and apply it to the vehicle that is going to work for you. Don't feel like you have to go now all of a sudden open an Instagram account and, make Instagram work if that Facebook has been working for you or Pinterest has been working for you or whatever your avenue is. So yeah, thanks for adding that for sure. Yes, I am talking about you, Emily. We just talked about this yesterday, focus on that one thing, learn. I remember Melanie Mitro and Janelle Summers are actually the people that said, figure out what your jam is and figure out like that one thing that you want to be really good at and learn how to be really good at it. Don't put your hands in too many pots or you're going to end up feeling like a crazy person and not able to keep up with it all. And once you master one thing, then you can move on and start opening up something else. So definitely, focus in and master what works for you. But all right, you guys. Well, if you have any other questions, feel free to post them for me on our little thread for the call for today. And if it's not something that I can answer, I can certainly shoot it over to Elyse and ask her. I'm sure, she doesn't have a Facebook page, but you can find her on Instagram and you can also find her on her actual page on Facebook.
Like page, yeah.
Yeah, she's got a like page. Is your like page just Elyse Hubbard? I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's just Elyse Hubbard. So, this is in my Instagram training, but what I tell my coaches, if they want to build both at the same time, I just post the same thing because I just don't have time to post in two places. But if you go into your settings on Instagram, you can set it up to pick one page on Facebook, either your personal or your like page, and it'll just transfer everything from your Instagram to your Facebook. So I don't want you guys to feel like I need to open my Instagram and post in two places. You can do it at the same exact time as long as you click the Facebook button, so that's what I do. And my like page is just another resource. And when I boost posts, I didn't start doing that until I had money to boost posts. And now that's how I gain my followers, but I'm not really good at it. So.
All right. Well, we really appreciate you taking the time, today and getting up early. And I know you're an early riser anyway, but taking some of the time that you use in the morning to get your stuff done to spend it with us. So thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for jumping on.
Bye.
Bye.